The Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 2. In the previous video we had done, I had explained to you till line number 101. So today we will continue from Nerissa. Okay, from here. So here Nerissa says, if he should offer to choose and choose the right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept him. So what does it mean? Nerissa means to say that if the young German who is the Duke of Saxony's nephew, if he offers to choose and he ends up choosing the right casket, then definitely you will refuse to perform your father's will if you will refuse to accept him as your husband. Then Portia says here, therefore, for fear of the worst, I pray thee, set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket. For if the devil be within, and that temptation without, I know he will choose it. I will do anything, Nerissa, or I will be married to a sponge. Okay, married to a sponge. So here what is Portia saying then? Portia says to avoid such a situation from happening, she says, I request you, please keep a large glass of Rhenish wine. Rhenish wine, you can see in the notes also, Rhenish wine. Rhenish wine, it is a white wine made from grapes grown in the Rhine Valley. So here she says that keep a large glass of Rhenish wine on the wrong casket. So even if the devil is inside that casket, I know who that person, that drunkard, he will definitely choose the casket. As long as that temptation, as long as that glass of Rhenish wine is kept on the top. And then she further says that I will do anything, Nerissa, before I am married to a sponge. Sponge means a drunkard. Then here, Nerissa once again says, you need not fear, lady, the having any of these lords. They have acquainted me with their determinations, which is indeed to return to their homes and to trouble you with no more suit, unless you may be won by some other sort than your father's imposition depending on the caskets. Nerissa saying that there is no need for you to be afraid, dear lady, of having to marry any of these lords, because they have already told me their decision. And what is the decision? That they wish to return home and not to trouble you anymore with their proposal, unless you could be won by some other means than the condition laid down by your father. Then here Portia says, if I live to be as old as Sibylla, I will die as chaste as Diana, unless be obtained by the manner of my father's will. I am glad this parcel of wooers are so reasonable, for there is not one among them but I dote on his very absence, and I pray God grant them a fair departure. So Portia then says that if I live long enough, means I grow very, very old. How old? As old as Sibylla. Okay, so it is given here in the notes about Sibylla. Here what had happened? Sibylla is a prophetess in the Roman mythology, and Apollo, he had granted her many years of life, as there were sand grains she held in her hand. So you can imagine how long she would have lived. That is why Portia here says that if she lived long, okay, long enough to be as old as Sibla, then what will she do? Then she will die a virgin. Just like whom? Just like Diana. Just like whom? Just like Diana. Here you can see. Again about Diana it is given. Diana is the goddess of virginity in the Roman mythology. Okay, so here she says that she would die as chaste, means as pure as Diana, unless and until she was married according to her father's will. And then she further says that she is very glad that this group of the suitors, okay, they are reasonable enough and are what? Ready to return back. Because she says that she does not wish, okay, she does not wish to be absent. She says that as there is none among them whom I don't wish to be absent. And then she says, I hope God will give them a happy journey home. So then what happens? Nerissa says, do you remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar, and a soldier that came hither in company of the Marquis of Montferrat. So here, Nerissa, she is trying to remind, okay, whom? Portia. About whom? About a young Venetian who had come to their place when her father was alive, who was a scholar and a soldier. And he had come along with whom? Along with Marquis of Montferrat. So Portia says, yes, it was Bassanio, as I think, so was he called. So here Portia says that, yes, I do remember. I think his name was Bassanio, that is what he was called. So Nerissa then says, true, madam, he of all the men had that ever my foolish eyes looked upon was the best deserving a fair lady. She says that, yes, very true, madam. He is of all the men that have come, okay, who wish to marry you, I think he is the best, or he is the most deserving of the good, fair lady. Then Portia says, I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise. So here Portia then says that, yes, I remember him very well, and I remember he is worth of your praises. He is worthy of your praises. Just then who enters? A servant. So here Portia says, how now? What news? The servant says, the 4 strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave, and there is a forerunner come from a 5th, the Prince of Morocco, who brings word the prince, his master, will be here tonight. So here who has come? Who has arrived just now? A servant has arrived, Portia's servant, and he gives the message that the 4 strangers, means the 4 suitors, are waiting for your permission to go, madam, so that they can go home. And then he further says that, and also there is a messenger come in advance. There is a messenger come in advance. Okay, there is a forerunner, means there is a messenger who has come in advance from a 5th, from the 5th one, who is the Prince of Morocco. Okay, who is the Prince of Morocco. And he brings the news that his master, he will arrive tonight, that his master will arrive tonight. So here you will find it very strange that the servant has informed that the 4 strangers, means the 4 strangers, they are waiting for her permission to take leave and go home. Whereas Shakespeare, he has mentioned, he has described how many suitors? 6 suitors. So what is this, confusion here? It will be clear in this line. Okay, the 4 strangers, 6 have been mentioned earlier. Possible explanations for this are, what can be the possible explanation? One is that Shakespeare, he seems to have forgotten that 6 suitors have been discussed. One reason can be this, while he was writing down this play. The second is the Scottish and the English lords were just added in the scene for entertainment, okay, to entertain the audience. And third reason can be the servant he regards the two suitors, that means the Scottish and the English lord, not worthy of mentioning. These can be the possible reasons. Then what happens? Portia then says, you can see here, Portia says, if I could bid the fifth welcome with so good heart as I can bid the other four farewell, I should be glad of his approach. If he have the condition of a saint and the complexion of a devil, I had rather he should strive me than wive me. Come, Nerissa, Sirrah, go before, whilst we shut the gate upon one wooer, another knocks at the door. So what does Portia mean here? Portia says that if she could do what? If she could welcome the fifth suitor with the same happiness as she could say goodbye to the other four, then definitely she will be very glad of his arrival. And if he has the nature of a saint but the looks of a devil, then what will happen? Then she would rather he hears, okay, her confession than marry her. And then she tells to Nerissa, come, Sirrah, go ahead of her, of us. So here, Sirrah, what does Sirrah mean? Sirrah, she is what? It is a common expression addressing servant. So here she is addressing the servant and telling the servant to go ahead of them while they will shut the gate. And then she tells to know Nerissa, when we shut the gate on one wooer, there is another one who knocks at the door. So we have completed this scene now. In this scene, what is the most important thing? It is the description about the different suitors and the mental state of Portia, how Portia is feeling in this scene. We know in the beginning she has said that she is tired of this world, isn't it? So why she is tired? Because she is bound by the will of her father. And so here she says, though she is bound by the will of her father, but at the same time she is ready to what? Obey the condition laid down by her father. So what is the other thing we come to know? That she is at the same time a very obedient, a dutiful daughter. So in the next class we will discuss question answers, but before that you have to go through this scene, do a very thorough study of it, go through the workbook also, whatever detail is given in the workbook, and try to do the question answers.